What's up, guys? This is episode 70 of the Real Dealz podcast. We're out here this week for a video podcast at one of our newest projects, and this project is a little bit different. It's one of our knockdown new build projects. So you see the house, a lot of people might look at this house and say, oh, hey, it's a ranch. It's obviously run down. It's got a crappy roof. It's got a satellite dish up there. It's in general disrepair. And so most people would say, hey, it's a great rehab. Surfaces, maybe some plumbing fixtures, a new electrical panel, furnace, roof, boom, you're done. Well, in a different area of town, yeah, that would be what you'd want to do with this thing. But given that we're in Lake Oswego and new construction in this area right here probably sells between 1.2 and 1.3 million for anywhere around 32 to 3,400 square feet, this home becomes obsolete and the dirt is worth much more than the house. So it becomes a knockdown new build. So one thing I want to talk about with this, and I saw a post on Facebook today that said, hey, how do I get deals from people that aren't motivated or are well off, sellers that have money, right? And for some reason people think, hey, if they got money and they're pretty well off, I can't get a deal from them. They have to be on destitute row, they have to be behind on their payments, they have to need money like to pay child support or electrical bills or their car payment like tomorrow. And that's totally not the case. We've made an absolute fortune over the last few years buying from people that have plenty of money. This guy is a perfect example of that. He was a builder, his dad was a builder, his daughter lived here for a long time rent-free. He's got plenty of money. But the key is that we focus on properties and not people. And so this guy was past his working years. He just didn't want to deal with it anymore. He didn't want to build a house. He didn't want to go through the brain damage and the stress and everything that goes into building houses, because it does take a lot of that. So we were able to come in and buy the house from him at a price that makes sense for the dirt to be able to knock it down and build it new. Now, the beauty of this strategy is that, we don't have to buy it for a huge discount to get a deal, right? We can do the comps of other houses that have been bought that are knockdowns, and builders have been building new houses. Let this car go by. And all we have to do to really get a great deal in this market, because there's no inventory for builders, is we say, hey, here's what the comps are selling for. I tell you what, we'll pay you what the comps are selling for minus real estate commissions, because you don't have any realtors to pay. And 6% on $300,000, it's a decent amount of money. So we ended up buying this house for $300,000. It's probably worth $349 if they put it on the market. So we didn't have to buy it for a huge discount, but then we build a new house and we sell it for $1.3 million and we still make a ton of money. So it's one of those strategies where you don't have to buy it at 65 or 70% of after repaired value minus what the repairs are, which in this market, good luck. That's probably virtually never going to happen to you. If you do, you get a cookie for being an amazing investor. But it rarely is going to happen to be able to buy something at such an extreme discount in this market for a house that needs renovations. This strategy is much easier. All you got to do is buy it for what the dirt's worth. Dirt is worth only so much. There has to be money in it for a builder. And so all we have to do is comp it to what other dirt sells for, subtract out the real estate commissions. It's a make sense deal for everybody. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little breakdown of how we buy these things and kind of what they're all about. But before we wrap up this episode, Dan's going to give you a little tour of the lot and show you what we got here. All right, guys, I'm back. Next door here, we've got a huge lot. It's 1.25 acres. And next door to that, we had 3/4 of an acre. And so this house right here is going to be torn down also. And they're going to put 3 houses in. Next to this house, they're in the process of putting 2 houses in. So this is one of those areas where knockdown new builds are really kind of becoming the norm. And because of that, property values keep going up and up and up. So anytime you're doing this strategy or you're trying to source inventory for builders, pay attention to what's going on in the area. If you see other builders that are doing the knockdown new build strategy, hey, it's probably a great area to do it for yourself or to find inventory for builders that are. All right, guys, what'd you think of the lot? Pretty big, huh? And that's what I thought when I first got this lead, or it came into our funnel. We did a Google Maps view of it. I knew where the property was because it's about half mile from my house, but it's a huge lot. It's perfect for a knockdown new build strategy. But one thing I wanted to mention to you guys that are out there wholesaling before we go here is that if you're wholesaling and you're trying to source projects like this for builders, builders will buy all day long at market value for what a lot is worth these days. In fact, they're pushing market value constantly because they need inventory so bad. So if you can find a deal like this, negotiate it with the seller, and just get them to lower the price what the real estate commissions would be that they would pay, that's your profit margin. On 300 grand, it's 18 G's, 20 G's, whatever. That's a big check for just finding a deal, selling it to a builder. No hassles with trying to sell it to another investor who's going to nickel and dime you, who's arguing with you about what the repair costs are going to be. None of that. It's easy peasy. All you got to do is find it, secure it, put your margin on it, and sell it to a builder that this type of project or that whatever type of project is that you source makes sense to them. You want to be selling the right price point to the right builder. You don't want to sell entry-level builder a high-end product. So make sure that you match that up, and as long as you do, you can make a ton of money. Negotiating with sellers, by the way, before I cut out here, we're doing a Father's Day sale this weekend on negotiating with sellers. Keep an eye out for a number of other emails and posts about it, but we're slashing prices for Father's Day since I'm a new father. We're going to give you guys out there in listener land a great deal on our negotiating with sellers product. So keep an eye out for that and go buy it this weekend. This is episode 70. I'm your host, Tucker Merrihew. I will see you guys next week on an audio podcast.